Basketball is literally a game. Like, I promise you, it's literally a game. We have so much fun with it. But when it comes to death threats, when it comes to people finding, like, I'm talking about people have come down to my address, follow me home. Like, it's come down to that. Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me, like, naked. Literally.
Really?
They have sent it to my family members. My family members are like, uncles are sending it to me like,
no.
Are you naked on Instagram?
Hey WNBA fans, we need to talk. Angel Reese is getting harassed, Caitlin is breaking records, and things are getting out of control. What's our role in all this drama? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Remember when Reese and Clark faced off in college? That was just the start. Now it's like a whole different game. Reese is dealing with some scary stuff off the court, while Clark is lighting it up on the court. It's crazy how things have changed. You know what's even crazier? We're going to dive into Reese's shocking revelations that'll make your jaw drop. Then we'll check out Clark's insane rise to stardom. But here's the kicker. We need to talk about how some fans are taking things way too far. So here's the big question. How did things get so heated, and what does it mean for women's basketball? Let's break it down. We thought we knew the price of fame in women's basketball. Then Angel Reese opened up about her experiences. How bad can fan behavior really get, and what's it doing to the players we admire? Angel Reese dropped a bombshell on a recent podcast, and it's shaking up the WNBA world. She's not just dealing with online trolls or mean comments. No, this is way worse. Reese revealed, "People have come down to my address, followed me home. That's not just crossing a line, it's obliterating it." But wait, it gets even crazier. Reese shared something that'll make your skin crawl. She said, "Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me, like naked, literally. And get this, they sent these fake nude pics to her family members." Can you imagine? That's not just harassment, it's a whole new level of creepy. Now, you might be thinking, is this just about basketball? Nope. Reese pointed out there's a darker side to this. She said, "I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it. It's not just about her game anymore, it's about who she is as a person." All this drama is hitting Reese hard, both on and off the court. She's dealing with an injury right now, and people are wondering about her future in the league. But with all this harassment piling up, you've got to wonder how much it's messing with her head. And here's the thing, Reese isn't alone in this. She's frustrated seeing other players going through similar stuff. It's like there's this toxic cloud hanging over women's basketball, and nobody's immune. But you know what's wild? Even with all this chaos, Reese still keeps it professional. She respects Clark as a player, saying, "Caitlin is an amazing player." That's some serious class right there, especially when some of Clark's fans are part of the problem.
Whenever you think of Angel Reese, people often mention Caitlin Clark. You've said in interviews, there's no beef, but the media keeps going on. This is your platform, so how do you feel about that situation?
Caitlin is an amazing player, and I've always thought she was an amazing player. We've been playing each other since high school, like literally been playing each other since high school, and like knowing that like there's never been beef. At the end of the day, it's a game that we do both love, but there is no hate, no hate. We're gonna play on the same team one day, I'm sure. Like, we're gonna definitely play on the same team one day, so
maybe 2028.
This whole situation is making us take a hard look at fandom in women's basketball. Where's the line between passionate support and harmful obsession? And what does it say about us as fans when players are dealing with this kind of harassment? Just when we thought we'd seen it all in women's basketball, Caitlin Clark steps onto the court and rewrites the playbook. Her record-breaking season is drawing crowds like never before. But at what cost? The answer might surprise you, and it's got everyone from fans to veterans talking. Caitlin Clark is on fire, and the WNBA can't stop watching. She's not just playing well, she's making history. Clark became the first player ever to score over 700 points and dish out more than 300 assists in a single season. That's not just good, that's changing the game. But here's where it gets wild. Clark isn't just impressing the stats nerds, she's bringing in the crowds big time. The Indiana Fever, they're seeing nearly 3 times as many fans show up compared to last season. It's like Clark sprinkled some magic basketball dust, and suddenly everyone wants a piece of the action. Now, you'd think with all this success, everything would be smooth sailing for Clark, right? Well, not exactly. Some of her fans are taking things way too far. They're not just cheering for Clark, they're going after anyone who dares to criticize her. Cheryl Swoops, a legend in her own right, said something not so nice about Clark, and boom, Clark's fans went on the attack. It's like there's this dark side to all the hype. Clark's doing amazing things on the court, but off the court, it's getting messy. Some of her supporters are throwing insult, harassing people online, and just being straight up toxic. And get this, it's It's not just random folks on the internet, it's spilling over into real life, affecting players like Angel Reese. But here's where Clark shows she's not just a great player, but a great person too. When all this drama with Reese was going down, Clark stepped up. She said, "I don't stand for any racism. I don't stand for any of that at all." That's Clark using her voice to shut down the haters, even when they're supposedly on her side. It's crazy to think about. Clark's breaking records left and right. She's bringing more eyes to women's basketball than ever before, but at the same time, there's this whole other battle happening in the background. It's like for every amazing assist Clark throws on the court, there's some fan out there throwing shade off the court. You'd think being a super fan is all about cheering and support, right? Wrong. Some fans are taking things to a whole new level, and not in a good way. The question is, how far is too far? Well, buckle up, because what's happening in women's basketball right now is straight up shocking. Remember how we talked about Angel Reese dealing with some scary stuff? It's not just her. This toxic fan behavior is spreading like wildfire, and it's hitting players hard. We're talking about a whole new level of harassment that's making everyone in the WNBA world sit up and take notice. Here's the deal. Social media is like gasoline on this fire. It's not just amplifying the love, it's cranking up the hate too. One second you're scrolling through positive comments, and the next you're drowning in a sea of toxic posts. It's like a roller coaster of emotions, but way less fun. Now imagine you're a player dealing with this every single day. You're trying to focus on your game, but your phone's blowing up with nasty messages. It's not just annoying, it's messing with players' heads big time. Reese even said, "It's painful to see that other players are going through this too." That's not just a player venting, that's a cry for help. But here's where it gets really messed up. Some of these so-called fans are crossing lines you wouldn't believe. We're talking about AI-generated nude pic, people showing up at players' homes, and straight-up racist attacks. Reese hit the nail on the head when she said, "I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it. It's not just about basketball anymore. It's personal, and it's ugly. So what's all this doing to our favorite players? It's not pretty. We're talking major anxiety, pressure through the roof, and performance issue. How are you supposed to sink that game-winning shot when you're worried about what's waiting for you on your phone after the game?" But here's the million-dollar question. What's our role in all this? As fans, we've got a big responsibility. We can't just sit back and watch this happen. We've got to draw that line between being passionate and being straight-up harmful. It's time for a serious reality check. The good news? We can turn this ship around. We can be the change we want to see in women's basketball. Instead of tearing players down, why not lift them up? Celebrate their skills, their hard work, their dedication. That's what real fandom is all about. All right, let's talk about the future of women's basketball. We've seen Angel Reese dealing with some serious harassment, while Caitlin-Clark's breaking records left and right. But here's the thing, how we act as fans is shaping the whole sport. Think about it. The way we treat these players isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about respect, it's about fairness, and yeah, it's about being a decent human being. Reese said it herself. It's painful to see that other players are going through this too. That's not okay. So what do? It's simple. We've got to change how we support our favorite players. Instead of tearing them down, let's build them up. Celebrate their skills, their hard work, their passion for the game. That's what real fandom is all about. The future of women's basketball? That's on us. Let's make it awesome.